Throughout NBA history, trademark shots have been part of the game's lore. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had his graceful sky hook, George Gervin, the sweet finger roll, and Michael Jordan, his soaring slam dunks. Elvin Hayes had his own patented shot, the turnaround jumper, and he used it to become one of the game's all-time greats. This week, it's the Big E on Vintage NBA.
2 seconds, 1 second, West throws it up, he makes it!
Now there's a steal by Bird, underneath the DJ, lays it in!
Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan!
Yes, basketball has changed. It's always been a great game, but now it has a new spirit.
He dunks like Dr. J. He might be the new Iceman.
The modern day Wilt Chamberlain.
He looked like Magic Johnson.
The future has arrived.
You are watching what greatness is all about.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vintage NBA. I'm Robin Roberts. For 16 seasons, Elvin Hayes dominated the forward position like few others. And this week, we'll look back at his remarkable career. It included 12 All-Star appearances and his crowning moment, 1978, when he led the Washington Bullets to their first NBA title. 15 years later, another talented forward arrived in Washington. He was the team's top draft pick, Tom Gugliotta. These days, Tom is with the Phoenix Suns, and this week he's in the chair with his thoughts on the man known as the Big E.
When you look at Elvin Hayes' game, for the time and the era he played in, you can say that Elvin Hayes is one of the pioneers of being a more agile and versatile power forward. He was a player ahead of his time with the around-the-basket moves.
Tough shot, Elvin Hayes.
With his ability to shoot the outside shot.
When he gets good position like that, you just can't stop Elvin Hayes. He can go either way.
His ability to block shots and rebound.
Throws one up for grabs and Hayes pulls it down.
He kind of makes him a modern-day forward, I think. And you didn't see much of that years ago, but I think he fit perfectly in today's game, the way he can do so many things. More and more guys in today's game try to do that at that position, myself included.
That, by the way, is a power forward, running the court, catching, putting it on the floor, and spinning. That's impressive.
His turnaround jump shot was unstoppable. You know, as big and as long and as athletic as he was, he got the ball nice and high, and when guys put up their hands, it didn't seem to affect him because he was always out jumping them or giving a little head fake and getting them off balance. I think I developed a turnaround jump shot from the baseline. Kind of draw some contact on your man, make sure he can't block your shot, and then I got to fade away a little bit because I don't get up like Elvin did, but it works for me, and I think it's a good shot. When I was there in Washington, it was my first couple of years in the league when I was still trying to find an identity. Wes Unseld, who was my coach at the time, would bring up some of the things that Elvin Hayes did, his ability to shoot and rebound, handle the ball, and I got to hear a lot about him and try to understand how he accomplished the things he did in a 16-year career. I'd just sit and listen to him and try to figure out ways where I can be effective in the league and try to find my identity.
Three-pointer, get it! Is this kid something? In a long time since the Bullets have had a rookie like this.
Really, when I think of Elvin Hayes, tenacity is the thing that comes to mind. I mean, we know he had the skill, the jump shot, and the finesse, but I really think that his tenacity is what made him great, because he brought it every single night and really never took a night off. If you ask coaches around the league what the hardest thing for players to do is come to play every single night, and obviously he did that with the numbers he put up. And when you think about the career statistics that he's had in scoring and rebounding, it's amazing accomplishment. He was a fierce competitor, and combined with that talent, it carried him a long way.
Tom said one of the things that impressed him most about Hayes is how he played 16 seasons without a major injury, especially at a physical position like power forward. That's something Tom can appreciate after being sidelined in 2000 by torn knee ligaments, not to mention that black eye he was sporting for the interview. Elvin's durability was just one of the things that set him apart, and we'll look back at his career when we return in just a moment.
You know, you think of Elvin Hayes and this turnaround jump shot that he had because you knew what he was going to do. When he's facing you, he's going to take 2 dribbles and shoot. And if he had his back to the basket, he's going to take a dribble away from you, turn around and shoot. And you knew what he was going to do, but you couldn't stop him from doing it.
When do you decide, Elvin, what you're going to do out there, whether you're going to become a corner man in its phase or the pivot man?
Well, if you have a guy maybe 6'10" on you, it's pretty tough trying to out-jump him consistently inside, so you want to take him outside. Now, if I feel like I have a guy 6'5" or 6'6", then you want to take him inside.
It was back at the University of Houston where Elvin Hayes acquired his nickname. A sports writer compared him to the Navy aircraft carrier Enterprise, which was called the Big E. And Hayes would live up to his billing as he carried the Cougars to national prominence. He went on to even bigger things in the NBA. And while he had a wide array of skills, there was one shot that became his most devastating weapon.
Hayes on the turnaround. Good again for the Big E now.
Elvin Hayes used his trademark turnaround jump shot to score over 25,000 points in 16 NBA seasons.
You know, you think of Elvin Hayes with this turnaround jump shot that he had because you knew what he was going to do. When he's facing you, he's going to take 2 dribbles and shoot. And if he had his back to the basket, he's going to take a dribble away from you, turn around and shoot. And you knew what he was going to do, but you couldn't stop him from doing it.
When he decides to put it up, he doesn't care where he is on the floor. He knows where the basket is, and it's going up.
He was one of the first guys that could catch and turn and shoot all at one time. You didn't see a big guy that could do that the way Elvin could, and he was very accurate.
His body gathering and his extension and follow through was so perfect. He's textbook, absolutely textbook.
But it wasn't just his textbook jumper that made Elvin so dangerous. He also used his athleticism to be a dominant force at both ends of the court.
Takes the right side shot. Hayes, blocked, tie! Troy free with a tie!
Elvin was a tremendous athlete that made himself into a great basketball player. Tremendous rebounder, extremely great shot blocker.
He had such a perfect body for this game. He could run like a stallion. He could jump as well as anybody. His timing was great.
There are very few big men that have the versatility of Elvin Hayes. He uses his height, he uses his strength, but above all, he uses his head.
Hayes first gained national attention at the University of Houston, where he was a 3-time All-American. And he became the prize pick of the 1968 NBA draft.
Elvin Hayes, the top college basketball player in the country, was drafted #1 and signed by San Diego.
The Rockets turned to Elvin to fill their void at the center position. And the 6'9" rookie excelled, despite being matched against players much bigger than himself.
It gave me an opportunity to use my quickness and use my size to be more aggressive and to do things that maybe a lot of other centers weren't able to do.
Hayes became an immediate sensation, leading the NBA in scoring in his first season and starting in the All-Star game, the first of 12 consecutive All-Star appearances.
On the far side for the West, Lenny Wilkins. His shot is off, but Elvin Hayes stuffs it away.
I know I was in such awe because the year before I was sitting in the dormitory watching these guys on an All-Star game, and the next year I was the starting center for the West team on the All-Star game.
But despite his individual success, Elvin couldn't seem to turn the Rockets into contenders. Before long, the Big E became a large target for the media, as he was blamed for the team's poor record, and he didn't take the criticism lightly.
I don't think that anyone can criticize me for my play or my hustle or my desire for the game of basketball. I think that the only thing that basically they can criticize me for is my honesty.
So when he was traded to the Washington Bullets in 1972, Hayes welcomed the change of scenery.
I remember when I first went in there, coach at the time was Gene Shue. He says, Elvin, all you have to worry about is playing basketball. You don't have to worry about scoring all the points. You don't have to worry about getting all the rebounds, and we'll win.
With Wes Unseld already playing center, Hayes was able to move to his natural position of power forward, and the front court tandem made the Bullets instant contenders.
We got the respect around the league. The Bullets are coming to town.
Hayes helped propel Washington to 3 NBA Finals, and in 1978, they defeated Seattle for the title.
For the first time in 36 years, Washington, D.C. has a major sports world champion.
At last, after 10 seasons, Elvin had a championship, and with it, some vindication from the criticism he heard along the way.
I got the ring. This is what it's all about.
That's exactly right.
It's just a tremendous feeling to wait all of this time, all of these games, all of these years, and this is what it's all about.
Hayes had worked long and hard for his moment. He was so dedicated that he missed only 9 games in his 16-year career.
He's an individual that played hard every single night his whole career.
You give the Big E a couple of aspirin and a six-pack, and he'll play for a month and a half for you.
Guys like Elvin Hayes played hurt all the time. He played with 2 sprained ankles, a sprained wrist, separated shoulder. It was no big deal.
In 1980, Hayes returned to the Houston Rockets. He set out to accomplish one last goal before retiring, and he would do it in his own unique style.
50,000 minutes. Incredible.
I said I would play basketball for 50,000 minutes. It wouldn't be 50,000 in 1, 50,000 in 2. And when I got my 50,000th minute in basketball, that was it. I quit.
The Big E had built a tremendous career out of those 50,000 minutes, and he would carve out a place as one of the greatest power forwards in NBA history.
I look at some of the things which I have accomplished in basketball. Some of the records in scoring and rebounding, those things for me are icing on the cake. I didn't really realize that I would ever achieve some of those things.
With his 50,000 minutes of playing time, Elvin ranks second on the NBA's all-time list behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's also 6th in scoring and 4th in rebounding. His career was highlighted by that 1978 title in Washington. And in case you're wondering, the theme song you heard was Bullets Fever with a little disco flavor. We're not sure who the group was, but we did uncover some other basketball bands as we dig through our collection of vintage vinyl. Welcome back, everyone, to Vintage NBA. These days, the nation is gripped every spring by basketball fever, starting with March Madness and ending with the June NBA Finals. And it's all played out on national TV. But it wasn't always that way, especially in the college game. As we log on to NBA.com and we check out Elvin Hayes' bio, we see that there was a game that was a turning point not only for Hayes, but also for sports television. And it happened on January 20th, 1968, the first ever nationally televised college game. Top-ranked UCLA faced number 2 Houston in a mid-season showdown. John Wooden led his Bruins against Guy Lewis's Cougars in an unlikely setting, the cavernous Astrodome.
We were wondering, is anybody going to be out there when we go out? And to our amazement, when we went out of the tunnel and came into the field area of the arena, it was just packed with people.
A crowd of over 52,000 at the time, a record for basketball, witnessed a matchup of two of the country's best big men. But UCLA's Lou Alcindor was suffering from an eye injury and had a rare poor performance, scoring just 15 points. Meanwhile, the Cougars turned to their All-American, the Big E, and he delivered.
Houston, also undefeated, soon discovered Elvin Hayes was hot. Bank shot by Hayes. Houston by 2. Houston fans loved every minute of it.
With the game tied and under a minute left to play, Hayes made 2 clutch free throws to give Houston a 2-point lead. UCLA still had time for one last shot as they tried to extend their 47-game winning streak. But in the final seconds, the Bruins turned the ball over, and the Cougars sealed their historic victory.
Elvin Hayes, 39 points, led Houston to the upset of the year. The victory made Houston #1 in the nation. Guy Lewis, the coach, and Elvin Hayes, the player of the year.
It was a great moment for basketball because it showed that basketball is a marketable product. And I think where the NBA is and where college basketball is today is a lot of success is because of that one basketball game. That was one game between two teams that put 50-some thousand people in one place, plus had a whole big worldwide audience watching the game also.
Now, UCLA would get their revenge in the Final Four later that year when they defeated Houston. But it was the matchup in the Astrodome that was billed as the game of the century, and it certainly put Elvin Hayes on the map. But there were many more great games still to come for the Big E, and we'll look back at one of them from the 1975 NBA playoffs when we continue in just a moment. After coming over from the Rockets, Elvin Hayes helped make the Washington Bullets title contenders. And 1975 seemed like it might be their year. Winning 60 games, they tied Boston for the league's best record. But they faced a major test from the Buffalo Braves in the Eastern Conference semifinals. The series was tied at 2, and Game 5 is the subject of this week's Airwave Archive. From the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, we join Brent Musburger and Oscar Robertson in the second quarter.
Washington is hitting less than 35% from the field so far as McAdoo hits the free throw.
Here's that foul again. We'll look at it again. He got him with the body a little bit.
McAdoo not missing his free throws even though he's not hitting from the field. 6 points for Mac. And we've got 9:35 to go in the first half. He scored 20 points in the first half in Buffalo Friday night. Kevin Porter, who checked in, tries to go high to Hayes. Elvin did not break to the hoop in that situation, so it went out of bounds.
No, they didn't. I think they're trying to force a situation like that. They got to work their normal plays and let it down. Let it happen. If they don't, they're going to be in trouble.
Charles is in. McAdoo outside. Still not hitting. Hurd was there.
It did good by Hurd.
I think Elvin Hayes may have given that one an assist, too.
He did not box him out that time. And the crowd wants something to happen.
Unseld makes it happen. Air ball, rebound.
How strong that guy is in there with that basketball.
He's like a redwood. Strong says, hold on. Wants to change basketball.
Here we watch Big West go again. He avoids the charging right there. Made a good move getting out of Hurd's way. Knocked it right in. Something will have to happen. They got to put some pressure on McAdoo. You know, he can't stand out there because Hunt's on the high post. There's no pressure on him to play any defense whatsoever.
Buffalo leading by 5 points. McAdoo away from the hoop, wants to drive on Ansel. Hayes. The miss is there. Out comes Chenier. Kevin Porter on the left side. Into Elvin Hayes. Knocked away by Charles.
A little too tight. Good movement. Good movement down the court that time by Chenier to get it out on the wing to Porter.
Ansel takes the pass. Wheels to Reardon, who was tipped away by Bobby Weiss. 12 seconds on the 24-second shot clock. Back to Reardon. Here's Elvin. Look at Weiss drop back. He gets it. He is still perfect from the field. 5 of 5. They've got to go to Hayes.
They have to do something because the rest of the guys are not scoring that well. I think if Big West can continue to penetrate on McAdoo, it might create something here.
Here's Mac. Over to Hurd. Jack Barron finally touches the ball. Not there. Chenier with a rebound. Jack was a little off balance when he shot it.
Sometimes he makes shots like that.
Porter trying to motion Reardon. Unseld wanted to make the move. McAdoo was with him. There's Reardon deep left. There he is. Is it 6 of 6?
Yes, he is. If he doesn't get into foul trouble in this game, Britt, look out.
Now it is a 1-point Buffalo lead. Smith is coming in, and so is Schluter. He's McAdoo fired.
Yes. You know, that time I think Porter should have got right back up on top of McAdoo that time because West tried to help out. He lost him a little bit.
Unseld looks just a little tired to me right now. McAdoo can start to move on him. Here's Chenier.
I don't know. He might not be tired. I think he's just watching to see what's going on. He knows if he doesn't have to run, he won't.
Marin knocked the ball away, but a foul was called, and we've also got a timeout.
Boy, Ramsey really cheers his team on over there, doesn't he? He's down on one knee, he's yelling instructions, he's clapping his hand.
Dale Schluter is on Unseld. Hayes, McAdoo's on Elvin right now. So Ramsey has made the switch. McAdoo goes on Hayes. Here's Smith.
You know, with McAdoo, I think Hayes should drive a little more. But Mac can really get up off his feet for the defense.
Schluter back to Marin. Was fouled, no doubt about it. Helped up by Jake O'Donnell. Reardon was holding his hand high.
Yes, he was.
Accidentally bumped him over. A foul against each team on the team side. 6:37 to go for the half. 3-point Buffalo lead. Here's McAdoo. Unseld still on him. Dale Schluter. He gave Buffalo a big boost on Friday night. Played a few minutes and was tough on the boards. Marin to Schluter. Away by Unseld.
Yeah, good block that time by West. They need a hoop right now, Brett.
They can cut Buffalo's lead to a point. Here's Hayes against McAdoo. Past Unseld, who rolls in off Schluter. Unseld.
Whoa, see how big and strong that guy is that time. He shot it short, got it again, and muscled it right into the basket.
Now it is a 1-point Buffalo lead. 5:50. Inside move by Smith.
Whoa, no basket. Hey, Ramsey doesn't like that. Let's see that again. Here he goes.
He stepped out.
Yes, he did. He did. He stepped out of bounds.
Washington can go ahead. And you know who should get it. Hayes. There he is.
And the crowd is loving this right now.
A 1-point lead back from the Braves. McAdoo can put Buffalo ahead. Not there. Hayes snaps it down. Porter. Smith. Porter.
Oh, he got it in. Woo! And Ramsey with the timeout.
Buffalo puts it in play, trailing by 3. We haven't heard from Jim McMillan much in this game.
No, he did a great job in supporting McAdoo in Friday night's ball game, but tonight he hasn't done it.
Schluter was called for traveling.
But I must say that when Reardon came in the game, he did a good job on McMillan. They're about the same size. And Reardon's a good defensive player. Sometimes he can go in the backcourt and play with defensive guard and also offense as well.
Semi-pressure from Chenier. They're trying to keep the ball away from Hayes. He's hit 7 of 8, 15 points. Smith back on the double team. Hayes up again. 8 of 9.
You're right, Vic. When he goes right away and shoots that ball, he's much tougher.
Chenier with the rebound.
I know one thing, Freddie. He may not be shooting well, but he's sure rebounding great.
Buffalo will send McMillan and Hurd back in the game. Porter to Hayes again. He's taking it from everywhere.
Wow, what a show he's putting on right now.
A 7-point Washington lead. You mentioned Chenier. He's pulled down 7 rebounds as McAdoo misses again. Schluter on the hustle. Has it taken away. On the floor, no whistle. Now hold on.
No.
There was a whistle by Strom. We got a jump ball. I couldn't hear it.
Hey, I'll tell you.
Because of the noise.
We'll see this again. Well, little action going on. Let's see what happens with this ball. The Big E wanted that ball, didn't he?
Tap goes to Buffalo. by Straw.
Yeah. McMillan is back into the ball game now. And also Garfield Hurd.
That is Porter's first foul. McAdoo. Pass to Hurd. Some firing on Hayes. Unseld switch.
Look at Elvin Hayes down the court. Oh, they missed him again.
Knocked away by Smith. Unseld is back. It will not be a breakaway. McAdoo.
No.
Unseld, that's three.
I tell you, he never moved, Brent. Hey, wait a minute, look at it again and see what really happened.
Let's take a look. Oscar Robertson won, the officials none.
No, I don't know. We'll see what happens, you know. He moved.
Two shots.
Instant replay is wonderful, isn't it? Plays like that, I guess the defense, you have to remain still. Whether you got position or not, you move, it's still a foul. They call it a West.
Washington can reopen a 7-point lead if Hayes' hoop goes in. McMillan. He's in the ballgame.
Yes, he is. I think it's, a lot of teams don't make the transition from offense to defense quick enough. That time, Buffalo took advantage of their mistake.
3 minutes for the half. Chenier passes off, batted away, and that time he probably should have taken a shot. Ball on the floor, Hayes.
Look at that. Oh, what a show. He's outstanding today, Brent. He is truly remarkable.
McAdoo to McMillan. Right baseline. Hayes to Chenier.
And that's his 8th rebound, I believe.
Well, when you're not scoring, help your team. And Chenier is a Porter. Foul as he went to the hoop.
He's right there.
Watch the Big E right here. Big E does a great job here. Scrambling, hustling for the ball. He stays with it, comes up with it right here. And watch this shot. Gets it right in.
So the Big E keeps the Bullets on top against the Buffalo Braves, who eventually went on to become the LA Clippers. Their coach was Jack Ramsey, who went on to win the NBA title 2 years later in Portland. The Braves also featured Bob McAdoo, who was in the midst of winning 3 straight scoring titles, and former Bullet Jack Marin, who was part of the trade that brought Elvin Hayes to Washington. We'll have more of Game 5 in a moment, right after we test your knowledge about 1975. Welcome back to the 1975 playoffs with the teams formerly known as the Bullets and the Braves. They're battling for a spot in the Eastern Conference Finals, and so far Game 5 has belonged to Elvin Hayes, who exploded for 23 points in the first half to give Washington a 3-point lead. So right now, let's return to the Capitol Center for the start of the second half.
Jake O'Donnell, former American League Baseball umpire, will toss it up as we start the second half. He's in his 8th season in the NBA. Here's Elvin, knocked away by Hurd, and he's called for the foul right away. And that's 4 fouls on Hurd.
Oh, that might hurt him a little bit.
That may change Ramsey's strategy immediately. He's up yelling.
Oh, Jack is, where he's squared. He's yelling because he didn't think Elvin Hayes was shooting that basketball. But they're going to put him on the line.
All right, you can change the second one.
Well, the first one didn't go in. I tell you, I think he was passing to myself.
I didn't think he was shooting. But I'm not out there. That's 24.
Neither am I.
Here's Smith. Forced out by Porter, still with a shot. So quick. Ex-soccer star. Would like to play it professionally. Jack Ramsey says one sport is enough, Randy.
So Randy says, pay me some more money then, Jack.
Chenier wheels it to Spoon, who's starting the second half like he did the first. Here's Chenier. He is having a poor shooting game, but Hayes is picking up the slack for everyone.
Yes, he does. That time he got a little bit to the right-hand side of the lane and knocked it right in.
That is a 4-point Bullet lead. Jimmy Mack being guarded by Weatherspoon, so Unseld is still over on McAdoo. Unseld keeping away. Hurd goes to the basket.
You know, that's Garfield's game right there, inside, so the Big E's going to have to put a little more pressure on to keep him outside. That time, you know, he just made a crossover dribble, put it right in.
Spoon buried deep on the right side. Comes back out high to Unseld. Passes quickly to Kevin Porter. Charles was off him. Porter penetrates. Passes back to Hayes. McAdoo with the rebound. The break was not there. Chenier was back for Smith.
Yes, he was.
Scrum. All the pushing foul. Charles is trying to come in. On Kevin Porter, that's his third.
It seems to me right now, starting out in the third quarter, that is, they're trying to work down on Kevin Porter a little bit. Maybe trying to get the guard down to post him on the basket. But the 2 straight times they got that pick. The second time he got a foul out of it.
Charles can tie it, but it doesn't go in. Hurd with an offensive board. McAdoo. Still not in. Loose ball going out of bounds. It goes to Buffalo. Is touched last.
Yeah, I'll tell you, a couple of times, you know, they knocked that ball out of bounds, but that previous rebound, they should have boxed out Hurd. They aren't doing that. He's going to get a lot of offensive rebounds.
Oh, Smith on the inbound play. Hit it, and a chance for the 3-point play. Hey, beautiful inbounds play. How can you get such a cheap basket in the NBA?
The Big E should have been inside of him right here. He should not have been straight up in front of him. He's been covering the basket. That situation never happened. If he'd have been inside, they couldn't have gotten that pass into Randy Smith, who wouldn't have scored.
4 fouls against Kevin Porter. Jimmy Jones is going to check back in, so maybe Porter is going to head to the bench. Porter uses Unseld. Smith stays with him, comes from behind West. Knocked away. Buffalo brings it back. They're leading by a point on that 3-point play by Smith. McAdoo. They lead it by 3.
Yeah. If he starts to get hot, look out. He's due to get hot here now, I'm telling you.
Charles trying to draw a cheap foul. Back to Chenier. Go to Hayes.
Look at the guard. Look at Randy Smith doubling up. If Washington would swing the ball around, Kevin Porter would be wide open. Randy Smith doesn't follow him all the way through the lane. He's doubling up on Elvin Hayes, and he's wide open.
Porter goes down.
Oh.
Call for blocking.
That's a bad call. Although he's faked here a lot. You ever watch the Big E right here? Look at Randy Smith. Randy Smith does not follow Kevin Porter across the lane. He stays inside in a zone situation. Big E knocks it right in.
Elvin Hayes stays hot with the help of a friendly roll. And the Washington fans were pretty friendly as well. You may have noticed the chant of E every time he touched the ball. Fans would also hold up thousands of white cards with the letter E. For Hayes, the crowd support was gratifying after all the heat he took as a member of the Rockets. Being traded to the Bullets would rejuvenate his career.
19,000 fans on their feet right now, cheering the introduction of their favorites, the Washington Bullets.
It was a great transition for me to go on to play with guys like Wes Unseld, Mike Reardon. It was really a great group of guys, and we began to complement each other, and it made us all great basketball players.
Elvin Hayes, he's been tough today.
When he made up his mind to destroy somebody,
Here's Hayes.
that person didn't have much of a chance.
And in the 75 playoffs, it seems that Elvin was out to destroy the Braves, who were double and triple teaming him to no avail. While Hayes was the Bullets' main scoring threat, they also had Wes Unseld, who led the league in rebounding that season, plus the league assist leader, point guard Kevin Porter. But in Game 5 against Buffalo, they're still trailing by 4 points as we pick up the action with just over 10 in the fourth quarter.
Buffalo trying to hold on to that 4-point lead, which would enable the Braves to take a 3-2 lead in this best-of-7 series.
And here we go down to the stretch.
McAdoo. Unseld, still on him. Over to Jack Marin. Marin. Kevin Porter looked for the break, but Reardon was guarded by Smith.
Yes, he was. Reardon really gets out of that good. But that time, Randy Smith got back. No break. Are they going to set up?
Oh. There's Hayes working against Hurd. Turn around. That's 32 points for E, and the crowd is starting to chant E every time.
Yes, they want him to shoot, and he should shoot.
Here's Weiss. It's a 2-point game. Make it 4.
That guard, Porter, cannot afford to slide behind that pick like that. Weiss shoots too good. You got to fight on the top. Make him move.
Washington trying to cut that lead in half. Porter motions Chenier to go to the right baseline. Come down, Selby play catch. Into Elvin. There he is. Triple team. Triple team. 34.
Not one, not two, but 3 guys was warning him that time, but he still knocked it in. He just simply out-jumped him.
They go to Smith. We got a 2-point game again. Chenier watching him. Listen to that crowd. 4 points.
See that time, Chenier and Uncle crossed, and Smith took advantage of the defensive lapse, and he knocked it right in. They got to talk a little more on defense situations like that. You got to talk to your teammates. Let them know what's happening.
McMillan waiting to check back in as it's Hayes again. Double team. 36.
Do you believe it, Brent?
He's just as incredible as McAdoo was Friday night. Out of bounds, Buffalo.
Watch the Big E here again. He's double teamed. Where can he go? Yes. Up in there and good.
Able to leap tall buildings with a single foul. Oh, Weiss is open. They didn't see him. They come deep to McMillan.
The same play they scored on in the first half, but they didn't get it that time.
There's Hurd. Buffalo leading by a field goal. Try to pass to McMillan out of bounds, and Strom says that Reardon lets it left.
Good play by Reardon to knock that ball out of bounds, because if he hadn't, McMillan would have had a layup.
Set the play on the other side, but hold on.
2 shots! 4, 5,
Foul situation on Chenier. Jake O'Donnell emphatic about that call.
Well, that's a 2-shot foul. Anytime the ball is not in bounds on the pass end, as a foul occurs, it's a 2-shot foul. Especially if the defense commits the foul.
That is a costly violation. Three-point Buffalo lead. Reardon and McMillan await at the other end of the court. Back to 4.
You know, I tell you, a lot of times in situations like that, Brent, there's a lot of shoving going on. The guy shoves you, you shove back. You know, just a judgment call by the official.
O'Donnell's got another call.
Randy Smith.
That's against Smith, his second.
Well,
Hayes.
Oh, no. What a shot that way. He banked it in.
2-point game again. Smith didn't come up fine, so McAdoo comes deep, goes back to Smith. It's good, and he was fouled.
Buffalo's moving the ball very well. Here, Max sees Randy Smith. Gets a bump by Reardon, knocked it right in.
Oh, Smith did what you told me a lot of guards should do. Try to get the 3-point play. He faked before he finally went with his shot.
That's right. This is the name of the game. You know, a lot of players don't try to do that because they're afraid to get hit.
That's a 5-point Buffalo lead as Randy Smith is tossed in 21. Porter. Weiss fouled him as Porter slid past on the right baseline.
That foul's on Bobby Weiss.
Personal foul call on.
You can see here a little screen again.
Second team foul.
Porter gets back. Well, he hit the ball. Did he get his arm?
Kevin Porter.
Little Kevin Porter comes to the free throw line is Oscar Robertson's question. Couldn't tell from my angle, though.
Well, okay.
Give the refs a break, will you?
Oh, but hey, they got a break. I thought he hit the ball, though.
Smith brings it back. It's a 4-point Buffalo lead. Could be 2. Porter. Hey. Hold on. Porter hit him. There's no foul down there. Just back off, give him a little room.
That could be a key steal right there, Brent. We'll wait and see.
Big play by KP. 2-point Buffalo lead. It's 7-14 for the game. McAdoo has to pass back. Smith. Weiss. The corner to McMillan. Look at this Washington defense. They force him to take a bad shot. Unsell it aboard. Here's Porter. Washington going for the tie. Chenier. Not there. Battle underneath. Elvin Hayes knocked away. There is a foul.
Hold it. We got a foul. That's on Hurd.
5 fouls on Garfield Hurd. Elvin Hayes comes to the line. He has 2 free throws, a chance to tie it up. Hayes has scored 38 points. He is 1 under his season high.
Elvin Hayes at the line, 2 shots.
Not yet in the penalty situation. Either team. Hits his first one, 1 coming.
Now it's down. They're only down by 1.
This crowd will go crazy if he knocks it up. That's a season high for Elvin Hayes.
Led by Hayes, the Bullets went on to win the game and the series. Then they knocked off Boston in the conference finals. But in the NBA finals, they were stunned in 4 straight by the Golden State Warriors in one of the biggest upsets in league history. Still, Washington was headed in the right direction, thanks in large part to Elvin Hayes. And when we come back, we'll see if any of today's players can measure up to the Big E. Elvin Hayes was one of those players who could do it all, scoring, rebounding, defense, and on top of that, he virtually never missed a game. So when you talk about the best forwards in NBA history, Elvin's name has to be near the top of the list, along with names like Bird, Barkley, Havlicek, and Irving. But here are a few other forwards who combine talent with tenacity. We start off back in the 50s with Hall of Famer Dolph Schayes from the old Syracuse Nationals. One of the NBA's early superstars, he was among the league lead scoring and rebounding and led the Nats to the 1955 NBA title. Like Elvin Hayes, Dan Issel was known for his durability, missing only 24 games in 15 seasons, which helped him earn the nickname of the Horse. Starring in both the ABA and NBA, he retired as 5th on basketball's all-time scoring list. In the 70s, Maurice Lucas was putting the power into power forward. He had a soft shooting touch, but he was also known as the enforcer, and he provided the inside muscle on Portland's 1977 championship team. George McGinnis dominated the forward position with a combination of force and finesse. He led the Indiana Pacers to 2 ABA titles. Then he joined Dr. J with the Sixers in the NBA, where George was a 3-time All-Star. In the 80s, Tom Chambers brought versatility to the forward position. He could score inside and also step out for the 3-pointer. Tom averaged 27 points a game for the Suns in 1990 and was a 4-time All-Star. The NBA has had many great forwards over the years, but few ever mastered the turnaround jump shot the way Elvin Hayes did. How about today's players? Does anyone come close? Well, that's a tough question to answer.
Turnaround jumper that you just can't block?
Oh man, great turnaround jumper. I really can't say.
I like Antonio McDyess's turnaround because he jumps so high when he gets up in the air. It's like impossible to block.
I would tell you the guy who comes close is Garnett, but I think Garnett has greater range than Elvin had.
Tim Duncan will post you up, turn his back to you, and fade away on a turnaround bank shot, which is a very difficult shot.
I think Karl Malone would be the Big E as far as unbelievable scorer, has the ability to lead the league in scoring from the power forward position, and has an awesome array of shots. And then he rebounds at a higher rate, like the Big E.
And Elvin Hayes himself agrees with that. He says that watching Karl Malone play is kind of like watching himself. We'd like to hear what you have to say about it. Just email us at NBA.com, where you can also read more about the 78 Bullets and their motto, "The opera ain't over till the fat lady sings," which became the catchphrase of Coach Dick Motta. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Stay with us. In 1984, Elvin Hayes ended his NBA career in Houston, the city where he became a college hero. But his best years came with the Bullets, who honored Hayes by retiring his number 11 jersey. And in 1990, the Basketball Hall of Fame opened its doors to the Big E. Of course, the E was for Elvin, but it could have also stood for excellence, a word that sums up what his career was all about. That's it for this edition of Vintage NBA. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Robin Roberts, and we'll see you next time. Take care.